You've heard of the term situationship. I've taken it and made it different. The situationships that we find ourselves in have the power to cause us to shift our perspective, either for good or for bad. When we shift for good, we've taken accountability of what we've been through, how we've been hurt, unhealed trauma. That causes us to shift in consciousness. So situation shifts can be very beneficial, right? If you're learning. Most people do not enter a relationship to find out what's wrong with themselves. Most people are looking for relationships to bring ease and peace, but that is only half of the coin. You're a co-creator of this relationship experience you're currently in, and that's why a situation shift has a silver lining.
Don't be this guy. Raise your drive and libido. It's time to man up with X-Wolf. Boost your testosterone levels to help decrease your body fat percentage and increase lean muscle mass gains. Boost your stamina and blood flow for those tough workouts. And these workouts also. Go to xlabsups.com to find out more.
What up, party people? Long time no Zolo. But it's all good. I'm back in the building after a little brief hiatus. How's everybody doing? Get in here, get in here, get in here. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the like button. Let's get this conversation trending. You saw my promo for X-Wolf. Please support this black-owned brand. This is the black version of Nugenics, in my opinion. I'm not saying it has the exact same ingredients. I'm just saying this is a testosterone booster, and that's what eugenics is. The difference between the two companies, one is GNC, this huge company, right? And I don't think GNC is black-owned. So if you're going to purchase those types of supplements, I'm asking you to purchase them from a black man. Go to xlabsups, S-U-P-P-S, xlabsups.com, and support this black-owned business. Buy out all of their inventory. I want you to do the same thing for your friend, Zoe Williams, and purchase all of my inventory for the Z-Moss. How do you do that? You go to CMOS, S-E-A, CMOSbusiness.com, and support. Buy all of the inventory. Also, if you want to start your own business, I think, in the CMOS lane, we have the connect down to St. Lucia. I think this would be a good opportunity for you to start your own micro business. All you have to do in order to buy in bulk is call the number on the screen, which is 1-800-298-8513. Support black-owned businesses. Also, you see what it is.
Yeah, Lord.
I'm going to tell you right now, people should give these out as stocking stuffers. The relationship dismount, the holographic relationship, and the shrouded lighthouse. Because the topic that I'm going to cover today, what is a Gucci belt or a Gucci shirt gonna do and you crazy? You're not dealing with that mental health situation. Well, why don't you go get my books? Go to theshroudedlighthouse.com. Can we get 66 copies sold today? Why 66? Because there's 66, well, there's 65 people now. Can we get 65 people to go to theshroudedlighthouse.com? Can we get everybody that shows up in the show today to purchase a copy? Can I say something really quickly about the orders? Listen, people, I know black-owned businesses, from black-owned businesses, you want high-level customer service. I understand that. And I want to be as respectful and as honorable to the people who support me as I possibly can. But you guys got to stop being disrespectful when you email.
My Lord, my Lord.
Where my book at? On Instagram, and your handle is Skibbity Baps. Right. Moonwalker. Like, first off, you didn't order in the name of Moonwalker. So nobody is trying to scam you. We have shipped out hundreds of copies and hundreds of people all over the world. 12 countries, 42 states have received their book. So let me just say, if you didn't receive your book, I didn't get no notifications. And then you check your spam. One dude, he was talking hella reckless. You know, I didn't get my notifications. Go to your spam. Check your spam. And then once they find out that you're right and there's a spam folder with a bunch of notifications from us, here's your tracking number, here's this, here's that, verify your email because the post office said your email was incorrect, blah, 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 blah. I don't get no return response where they say, man, my bad, I came at you foul.
They eat it, don't check it.
Right? So I'm going to say it again. Don't DM me. Don't email me personally. Here's the email. I'm finna give you the email because this is the same email that sends you your notifications. This is the same email that sends you your tracking number. It's way more refined now with this book than it has ever been. Before, I was writing out all the addresses by hand, and I was carrying all of the books to the post office. I was standing in line. It's a whole different streamlined process right now.
Leveled up.
Check your spam. Here's the email. ZoWhatMasterclass.com. That's where the email is coming from with all your notifications. Check your spam for Zo at ZoWhatMasterclass.com. Okay? I need everybody in here to purchase a copy of this book for the Christmas season. I know you know somebody who needs it. I know you might need it. Trust me. It won't disappoint you. And then go to my website, IamZoWilliams.com, and order the holographic relationship. This is the part 2 in the series, and part 1 in the series is available on Amazon.com in 3 different formats: Kindle, Audible, as well as paperback. All right? The relationship dismount. Get all 3 books. Sit down. I promise. If you and your significant other read these books together, I promise you, y'all gonna get some answers that you didn't have before.
And if you don't have a significant other and you're a male between 35 and 45, I will read it with you.
Whoa. Sarah, really?
Yeah, I'm just out there. I'm putting it out there.
Wow.
It's almost 2022. I'm trying to get hooked up.
You trying to get a boo?
I'm trying to get a boo.
Trying to get a boo.
Everlasting love.
All right, let's finish up. Hey, Total Package Energy.
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's keep this black-owned business in business. Let's support all of their products. Their Total Package Energy product is amazing. B12, the pea protein. Support, 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 support. Get down with them. Listen, you see that orange one that I'm not mentioning? Mm-hmm. If you get emergency, right? Go right to CVS, Walgreens, whatever. They got emergency. Reputable product. This is a reputable product. Go support all of Total Package Energy's products. All right? Great business. I love them. Please support, 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 support. Also, you need a job. Here's an opportunity to get some certification so you can become a medical coder. Right? Go to jhmci.com. That's John Halley's Medical Coding Institute, jhmci.com. Instructors are John Halley's and Yafet Campbell. The website again is jhmci.com. Here's the contact number, 916-524-4380. This is a 4-month program. Once you're certified, you can work from the crib. Starting salary for a remote, you can work from anywhere. For a remote medical coding position is $25 an hour, depending on your location. So please support this black-owned business. This is a black-owned business doing it too. Support them, ride with them, get down with them. Also, the HuriKane Report. Y'all know what it is. Write it, take action, maintain freedom. The Black Al Jazeera, the FBI, not FBI, FBA Al Jazeera.
FBI, Lord.
I'm sorry, it was a Freudian slip. The FBA ADOS version of Al Jazeera, H-report.news. Support this black-owned business. They have a lot of news. Roger Wilco. Hey, man.
Roger that.
Thank you, Roger, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yo, in 2017, I told you about BTC. It's been life-changing. Getting ready for alt season now. EOS, Dash, Zcash, XRP, BT, and you talking about Bitcoin.
Oh, that's Bitcoin? I was trying to figure out.
I'll send you my exit targets on Twitter. Sure, brother. Hit the like button. Everybody get in there and hit the like button. Listen, somebody sent me a clip the other day. This is off topic real quick. Somebody sent me a clip the other day of the good brother Kevin Samuels. And he was really, he had like 13,000, 14,000 people in there live.
Wow.
And I was like, damn, this is dope. But what I noticed was nobody ever said he was begging. He was on his people's ass. He said, y'all hit that super chat. Y'all support this brand. Y'all support what I'm doing, or I ain't gonna talk. Listen, we're gonna talk about dysfunction and anxiety today, and all of these things are gonna kind of tie in together, right? When we're looking at the overall picture of our people. We gotta stop. It's almost like personalities on YouTube is like going into the mall. We like what we like. And then we shit on what we don't like, even if what we don't like is saying some shit that we like. We only want to hear it from the people that we like.
Well, some people can't fit the clothes in every shop.
We'll hate on the same truth if it's coming from somebody we don't like. And then we'll be in total agreement with the same truth coming from somebody we do like.
Yeah.
This popularity shit has got to stop in our community. What's interesting is, pull up this book by Dr. David Hawkins. Shit, I be forgetting. Dr. David Hawkins, I think it's Pathway to Consciousness.
We're gonna find out.
I think that's what it is. Dr. David Hawkins books. I'll tell you what it is right this second. No. This is it right here. Let me just make sure. I think that's it.
The Map of Consciousness Explained?
No.
Okay.
It's Transcending the Levels of Consciousness, the Stairway to Enlightenment.
Stairway.
Very powerful book. Get the book. But in the book, he says something that was quite interesting. He also said this in Power versus Force. Because you know he has this consciousness grid. I talk about his work in the Shrouded Lighthouse. I talk about the consciousness grid in the Shrouded Lighthouse. He said something that was very interesting. Because you know his consciousness grid goes from 0 to 1,000. The bottom is fear, grief, apathy, guilt. That's the bottom, lower level conscious state that people find themselves in. And from his work through kinesiology, he's a medical doctor as well as a metaphysician, he created this map of consciousness. And basically he calibrated that the majority of the planet is vibrating at the consciousness level of 100, which according to his consciousness scale is fear. Ooh. So he's saying 99.99999% of the planet is vibrating at fear.
It's at 100.
Keep it 100, right?
100,
Keep it 100.
Keep 100, baby.
At 500, you get what is called the consciousness of love. 540 is joy, right? So what he's basically saying is, because he said it in other books, he said 0.04% of the planet Earth will ever experience true love, unconditional love.
Oh, I want it though.
Very, 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 tough realization to wrap your head around, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what's interesting about that is, he also said in another book, he said, if somebody comes to you with truth that's vibrating at 500 or more, accept it. No. I said it wrong. No. He didn't say if somebody comes to you. No, what he said was, he said if Lucifer came to you, if the devil came to you with truth vibrating at 500 or higher, he said accept it. It's the truth. Mm-hmm. The level of consciousness, it's the truth. You hear Christians say it all the time. The devil know the Bible better than you do. You get what I'm saying? You hear them say it all the time. What I'm trying to say is we got to stop listening to the same truth from our preferred speakers.
My Lord.
And then shutting down that same truth from people we don't prefer. This is why there's no unity in our community. So I'm going to go a little further today. This was a tough week. One of our dearest friends over at my local cigar lounge passed away 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly. And when I tell you this brother's spirit, just a wonderful brother. Calvin William Smith II.
Wow.
Just a powerful spirit. I can't tell. When I did the Fight the Power radio at Dash Radio, when we did that whole, tribute, fundraiser for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and we brought in all these people to talk. We had Benjamin Crump come on and talk about the cases and, all of this. I wanted to bring police officers on, black police officers on, to speak about their reality, the level of anxiety that they experience being brothers in blue, but brothers from another, while being behind that blue line by representing police. And this brother shared with me, he was the first black police officer in the city of El Segundo. And El Segundo, if you know anything about Southern California, El Segundo has had its racial issues. And he talked about the racial stuff he had to deal with as a police officer, from police officers. He talked about the racial stuff he had to deal with from people who lived in the community. Mm-hmm. He told me about going on a call, and the lady was like, no niggers allowed here. He's a police officer responding to a call. Mm. How do you deal with anxiety? How do you deal with dysfunction? Dysfunction, baby, is spelled with a Y. You spelled it D-I-S, baby. Ma'am.
Huh? I spelled it behind you?
Yes, Sarah.
On what?
We need to spell check this. It's D-Y.
It's
You have D-I.
On where? How did?
On the YouTube description,
Oh,
right?
it's D-Y. It surely is.
It surely is.
You're right. You're right. Okay.
Come on, Sarah.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's my anxiety. I'm sorry.
So, tough week, like I was saying, man. I went to the brother's funeral. There was 500 people there. And everybody said the same thing. You know, everybody said the same thing. That was a wonderful man. A solid brother. Someone who will talk you off the ledge. Someone that everybody goes to talk to when they need to be talked to. You know, he was that spirit, right? He was that spirit. Just very sad. You know, we just buried him over the weekend. You know, our cigar, you know, community, a lot of us were there. So then on Monday, this past Monday, I talked to my homeboy, Alex Avant. And we catch up with each other, you know, because we tap in with each other maybe once every 6 months or whatever. We tap in. He asked me about Mo. Hey, man, how's Mo D doing? I said, Mo is great, man. Mo is in Atlanta. He's doing his thing, still touring. He said, man, did his number change? I said, I don't know, but I'll send you his number. I sent him his number, and then he called Mo, and him and Mo reconnected. And then at 2:30 p.m. or a.m., his mother was killed.
Yep.
Now, one of the most, I don't know how this is going to feel. I don't know. This is one of those times it's horrible, right? It's fucking horrible that this family, that brother, his sister, his father, have to deal with that kind of trauma. Here's the reality. No justice can replace the beautiful spirit that was, you know, Clarence's wife, Alex's mother, and Nicole's mother. No amount of justice where it will be like, all right, everything cool, all right. Nah, you know. So that speaks to the dysfunction side of the show. For me, how many of y'all tell me by putting up a fist, how many of y'all will watch the news and see some terrible shit and racialize what you see?
All the time.
Oh, it was a mass shooting in Colorado. Oh, these crazy white people out here tripping.
Yeah. I always know when they don't show the picture. That's how I know they're white.
You see what oh, Lord, here go these crazy white folk. They done did something else, right?
Somebody said they wasn't going to give him a Christmas gift, and there you go.
And for me, I felt watching the news, I was like, man, and this is a bad hope, right? This might be part of my dysfunction. This is a bad hope where I hoped it was a white person and not us. And come to find out, it's us.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Avant, solid brother, man. Good brother. It was Alex Avant who brought me and Kool Mo D. I mean, Kool Mo had already known Quincy and already had a relationship with Quincy Jones. But back in 2007, Mo was doing an incredible talk show called I Am Hip Hop. And I was lucky to be a part of it. We brought all types of hip hop artists together, Dougie, Exhibit, Hammer, so many people, DMC, so many people came on to shoot this pilot. We shot like 10 episodes in LA, and it was amazing. And Alex Avant was integral, to the development of that. And he was able to, bring myself, Mo, and Quincy together, for talks to try to pitch it to network, to get it out there. Where are those pictures, Sarah?
Oh, yeah, it's over here.
And this is how, we began, to build a relationship with Q and others. On this night right here, go back, let me see. What was this? On that night right there, those are 2 different nights. On that night right there, we had another picture. Hillary Clinton was in the picture. Do we have that picture too?
Oh, I didn't put that one up, but I will get it.
On that night, Quincy brought us up. This is in 2007. Quincy brought us up to speak to Hillary Clinton about hip hop and the culture because she was running against Barack Obama. And Quincy was pro-Clinton. You see pieces of this in the Black Godfather documentary. Of course, Clarence Avant and his daughter, they were pro-Obama. But we were brought up there. Those 2 guys in the middle are some famous poets, spoken word artists. They were brought up to demonstrate spoken word to Hillary during this private dinner. After they did their poetry, they went back into the kitchen, and myself, Modi, Quincy, and Hillary Clinton sat down for about an hour and talked about hip hop and its real power. And anybody who knows Modi is consciousness. So we talking about conscious hip hop. We're not talking about gangster rap. No disrespect to gangster rap, but gangster rap is one of, I would say, is one of the things that has glorified our dysfunction. And because the industry don't care.
No.
Let me explain something to you. The industry don't care where the money is coming from. But they understand that consciousness is a harder sell than foolishness, than self-hate, than dysfunction. It's a harder sell. I remember when I worked for Maverick, I was working for Freddie DeMann, who owned Maverick Records, but Madonna at the time was the figurehead until later on they bought Freddie DeMann out, her and Guy Oseary. I remember when I was working for them, and I was having a conversation with Freddie DeMann about Michelle Ndegeocello.
Oh, I love her.
And what Freddie said, to illustrate my point, they don't care where the money come from and how consciousness is a harder sell than foolishness, right? I'm talking about Michelle Ndegeocello, and he's like, oh, she's an amazing artist. Oh my God, she's so talented. She's this and that. But Zo, we spent $2.5 million on her. And she only went gold. And he was disappointed and frustrated because nobody was really into her like that. The white folk didn't get down with her playing the rock, and the black folk didn't totally cross into her. She had records that each side probably could appreciate, but not to a large extent. So
Foolishness has better beats.
Foolishness got better beats.
Yeah.
Mo D was just on Tavis Smiley's show. I think it was yesterday. And I connected Mo D and Tavis Smiley together. And Mo D came on Tavis's show because I've been talking to Mo and telling Mo too much knowledge, too much wisdom. But Mo doesn't like too much of the internet, and he doesn't really like social media and all of that. But I got him to go on Tavis's show, and he went on there and set that mother ablaze. Again, dumb is popular. Stupid is cool.
Yeah.
We got black folks out here. How many black people you know will say you sound white because you articulate well? How many black folk attribute articulation to whiteness?
I have a great answer for this though.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Is that because white people are considered to have better education than black people, so therefore you one of them bus kids. You one of the ones. You one of the one of two blacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you the Jordans of the white school because everybody ain't got them.
But it's systemic.
Yeah.
It's not internal. This is part of their business. Their business is to keep you dumb. You guys have heard me mention this over and over and over again. There's a professor up at Stanford who did a study on stereotype threat. And in that study, he showed that even if blacks and whites have the same level of education, the black is 4 years behind them
Cause we just got the book.
in articulation, in reading comprehension. They're 4 years behind. That's by design. He talked about standardized testing. He talked about how, the whites wanted to make sure that blacks don't do better, but at the same time we're envious because the Asians did better than them. Why? Because there was no attack on their culture in the curriculum.
But the show The Crown will set you free because the Queen of England was preferred not to be taught educational things because basically you just sit there and look pretty. You don't need to know nothing.
But see,
because
that's
your
different.
blood supposed to make you.
That's different. See, when we talk about white royalty, white royalty be some of the dumbest people in the world.
But we're kings and queens, and yet at the same time, we choose not at times to learn those things or not afforded those opportunities.
No. What white folk and in particular white royalty would do. I'm royal. I'm not going to school with the commoner. The school will come to me. I'll be educated here.
I'll be over to school and don't know nothing.
On the grounds. Right? They also have, I talked about this before too, there's a television show called Downton Abbey.
Absolutely.
And in that show, you can't be considered a gentleman because a gentleman is royal and work. And one of their family members from America was coming to get his inheritance, right? But he was a lawyer.
Yeah.
And they was like, they looked down on him in that show because it was like, you work. Royals don't. Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't have to know nothing.
But the double standard is black people lazy, black people stupid, black people ignorant. Now keep in mind, thank you, Al Noor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Al Noor. This channel
God
needs your
bless you.
support. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Anybody who hit that super chat, we appreciate it. Roger, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, this dysfunction that I speak of, right, plagues us today. I'll come in and say something and say, hey man, Tone talks about the wealth gap. And he'll get derided and I'll get derided. And say, oh man, that's negative talk, and and we gotta aspire to be more regardless of the circumstances, and that's part of our dysfunction too.
It's like the ignorance is bliss.
Let me explain. Y'all saw these videos around LA. People walking up on people, pulling out the blammer while these people are having lunch or dinner or whatever.
At the wing place on Melrose.
And robbing them, right? Y'all saw another video in LA where somebody was up there at Bossa Nova. And they ran into their car. Y'all saw another video where hordes of people were robbing the Nordstroms. How does that tie into Tone Talks? Tone Talks has been saying for the last 3 years it's finna get bad.
Yeah.
Because of the wealth gap. It's finna get bad. People are about to get desperate. Now, the wealth gap is still widening during a pandemic. White people have commoditized the pandemic so that they can get wealthier. Right?
The smash and grab is the new PPP loan.
Now,
let me get it.
Now,
it's boosting season.
Now, you know what else is happening? Down here in Los Angeles, we have a bay. Long Beach, South Bay, way down there, San Pedro, right?
Oh, San Pedro.
That is our dock where all the goods from all over the world come in to here, right? Because of COVID, those ships can't dock. Those products can't make it to the stores. So then you get the news report. Up, inflation, spiked 6%. Just like when the pandemic hit, what did they say? Who did they say would be more adversely affected? They said black people. So now we're starting to see this barbarism. We're starting to see this barbaric behavior coming from our people, partly because we have bought into glamorizing the dark side of our dysfunction. We have glamorized it through our entertainment. Oh, I remember Modi was telling me about the Chronic. Right? He said, New York didn't understand when gangster rap first came out. They didn't understand. They didn't, motherfucking bitch, I'll blow you. Let's go rob this bitch, Nick. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucking bitch.
Gangster, that's what they yelling. It's not about a salary. It's all about reality. Nigga. A bum rush, but we call it rack pack. On a fucking for nothing at all. Ice Cube will go stupid when I'm full of 8-ball. Like our whole culture was, the music was glorifying gangs. Why? Because conscious rap is harder to market and promote.
Yeah.
You've heard me say that the most refined form of music on planet Earth is jazz music.
Yes, Lord.
And jazz music is the least selling music on planet Earth because people don't understand chord progressions. People don't understand
the complexity, the musical complexity, or what is called musicality, people don't understand the value of that.
They think of it as an elevator music, but they think of an elevator take you up.
Right. So the very thing that we down with, that we roll with, be in alignment with the lowest levels of our consciousness.
Because they got a better beat.
See, you a vegan,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
Eat a tuna roll every now and then.
you a vegan, but you in your car listen to Blow the Whistle.
Hey, blow the whistle. Hey, come
What's
on.
my favorite word?
Bitch! Hey, but I don't eat that cow.
Do you understand? Don't eat the cow.
Cow.
Do you see the confusion in our lives, the confusion in our everyday lives, right? And this wealth gap is growing. Don't you know that the lack of money, or the lack, or the mental lack of anything, where you feel you lack something, even if you have money, if you feel like you ain't got enough money, creates anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Come on now.
So if you are poor by design, because black people are wealthy spiritually, but you've been taught that your spiritual wealth is nothing in comparison to material wealth. Mm-hmm. And you need to focus on getting out of your situation.
But also in Christianity, you also learn that to suffer means eternal gain.
Oh, to suffer.
To suffer
With him.
But see, that's what it makes it that, you know what, in this life you ain't gonna have nothing. You ain't gonna have shit. Don't worry. Cause when you die, you're good.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Do you see? So here we go.
But they be spiritually dead walking around every day.
So here we go. We live with this anxiety. And this anxiety becomes a justifier for engaging, enriching, and nurturing our lower selves.
My Lord.
YouTube is popular because your life is mundane. Why doesn't Elon Musk have a YouTube channel?
Because he's trying to do them penis shuttles to go to space.
They too busy running the world to spend so much time on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm just, do you understand what I'm trying to say? And then when you get on YouTube, and I'm talking about us, my people, my folk, when you get on YouTube, then it turns into a popularity contest of the lowest caliber. Who I think is real, who I think is solid, who I think is 100.
On camera. Yeah.
And while this is happening, the rest of the world is moving at light speed.
Come on.
Right? The rest of the world is moving at light speed. Right?
You talking.
It don't matter what you do, whether it's business, relationships, politics, economics, all of it requires cohesion and unity. But there ain't no unity when you've been conditioned to believe that you are nothing without the white man's approval.
Is it like being a tall midget, you still short?
Right.
Hey, oh Lord. My Lord.
And they built this reality.
Mm-hmm.
Who saw the clip of my man from the Young Turks?
Oh, yes.
When he basically said, how can you call black folks
savages
when y'all did the most savage shit in history and then act royal and haughty and high and mighty like savagery is beneath you?
And you don't take no bath.
When every form of your recontextualized belief systems, whether they be politics, whether they be spirituality, came from the very people you call savages. See, you anxious because you're trying to get a footing in another man's world.
Well, the Bible says be anxious for nothing.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're trying to get a footing in his world. And getting a footing in his world, it comes with acknowledgement from him. Do you understand?
But their shoes ain't big enough.
No disrespect to anybody in this chat room.
Wow.
No disrespect to anybody on YouTube. Do what you gotta do to eat, to build, your platform. But ask yourself this question. What's the difference between a YouTuber who tears down another brother and a dope dealer who sells dope to a brother?
You still killing the community.
There's still no unity. There's still no cooperation. There's still no respect, no mutual respect. Ask yourself the question, what's the difference? If you lack knowledge of self, right? You lack knowledge of self. Then your self-esteem must come from your provider. Whoever is signing your check, whoever is feeding you, that's where your self-esteem is coming from. If you take that check away, that signature on that check away, where's your self-esteem? Where's your self-worth going to come from? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, brothers and sisters, people of the community, there's nobody to just point and say, he's at fault, she's at fault. The only way to break out of dysfunction, whether it be in a familial setting or a cultural setting, is to break up with the authors of the rules of that setting. So I teach in the Shrouded Lighthouse, break up with your parents' limited toolbox. They can only get you to a certain level. Then you have to break up with that, right? In the book, I talk about the relationship journey, and I pattern that relationship journey after Joseph Campbell, right? The situation shift, right? The call that you called in that is created from your dysfunction, right? You called in a dysfunctional person to mirror your dysfunction so you can see it, acknowledge it, embrace it, and then recontextualize it. That's what it's for. That's the call to adventure. A relationship is a call to adventure. A situation shift is a call to adventure. What adventure? The adventure inward. To undo what was left undone. That's the call.
But people get mad because they don't have a +1.
Ooh, come on. Come on, Sarah.
Because you always want to rebound with something when you break up. You want to but they rebound with extremism.
So, just like you got to break up with mom and dad's limited beliefs so you can become a full adult, you got to break up with the limiting beliefs that society has about you. You got to break up with their definitions of you, how they define you, how they say you should be. Listen.
Get your pen back.
Get your pen back.
Get your pen back.
Come on.
Yep.
So now what's happening? Motherfuckers come in here. Gangster rap comes in. What was one of the, y'all give me some of the famous quotes in there. Biggie had money, clothes, and hoes.
Don't get high on your own supply.
Don't get high on your own supply. Give me some of these. Snoop Dogg. Bitches ain't shit.
But hoes and tricks.
But hoes and tricks. Come on. Give us some more. Give me more of what hip hop delivered to us. And I'm talking about a certain type of hip hop. Right? I'm not talking about Melly Mel. When Melly Mel rapped on the Beat Street record and prophesied the future. When he said, and don't be a slave to no computer, before the computer was in every home.
But you gotta have hoes in different area codes.
Somebody said cream. Hoes in different area codes. Somebody said cream.
Yeah.
It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Cash rules everything around me. Listen, I understand that you gotta do more money.
More problems.
More problems.
Yeah.
I understand that you gotta do what you gotta do to feed your family. But what are you doing to feed your community? See, a community is a garden. And when you're able to take care of yourself, now you become the gardener of the garden that produced you. But nobody wants to be the gardener. Everybody just want to pick from the vine at their leisure.
Yeah, but big bank take little bank.
Somebody said, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Bling, bling. Ooh, the De Beers story. The South Africans, for millions of years, walking around that motherfucker and didn't give two shakes of a fat rat's ass about a carbonite rock.
Yeah, like, what's this shit?
And then the De Beers family from Europe created a whole culture that says the marriage ain't real, the relationship ain't real unless you give her a ring, and the ring got to have a diamond on it.
Diamonds on
They created an image, or they created a movement out of something that was initially worthless. Now Jay-Z, my whole chest is frozen. The watch is holding its breath, and it's We're dysfunctional people.
Yeah, I ain't saying they're gold.
Somebody said Cream isn't a gangster rap. It told an inspirational story. I know, I was there. I was an A&R at Loud Records when the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers first came out. I was a West Coast director of A&R. But the hook is cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all.
Wait, what's that song that like the Ice Cream Man? Don't you hear, bitch? Don't you hear the music or something? What was that? It was some Oakland stuff. I can't remember.
I'm here to talk to us about how if one of us fails, right? If one of us fails, all of us fail. Right? I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. I'm finna give it to you. Fuck it. I don't care.
Let it go.
See, did you guys watch that? It's a Netflix thing that has coaches. And the coaches are talking about their practice.
Practice?
Yeah. or their, not their practice, but their method of coaching.
You know, I was talking about Allen Iverson.
Right? On one of the episodes, you had Doc Rivers, and he talked about the African word that he used to bring his team together. Right? A concept from South Africa called Ubuntu. I talk about Ubuntu in my 2015 release, The Relationship Dismount. A quality that includes the essential human values, compassion and humanity. There is a need for understanding, not vengeance. Ubuntu, not victimization. It's the Xhosa and it's Zulu, right? Ubuntu. And everything is Ubuntu. It's we all we got, right?
Yeah.
So how is it that this spiritual concept from the Zulus can win us a championship, but not an internal championship, not a communal championship? See, we can win an NBA championship. A team can coalesce around a concept, right?
Yeah, but there's no trophy. There's no tangible trophy.
Come on, talk to me, Sarah. Now you in here. What kind of trophy do you need for us to be Ubuntu for real in everyday life? Not because my team that's wearing green and white, right?
Yeah.
No. Your team is your people. Regardless of the jersey they wearing, your people is the jersey, right?
Yeah.
I mean, white Americans see it that way.
Yeah. But they can focus on things that are not tangible. You see a lot of things that they move, the way they move their money. A lot of times when they have a certain amount of money, you don't even see it like that. In a wire transfer, I can send it to $2 million to Israel right now if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? At the touch of a button. We always want something we can see. Because we don't think it's real if we can't see it.
But that's because we ain't never had nothing.
That part. So therefore, it's not only for me to see it, but for all other niggas can see that I got it. If we was giving out the nigga awards, you know what I'm saying? You have people try to step their game up even more.
The nigga awards.
The nigga awards.
Put up the Krishnamurti question.
Oh. Krishnamurti question.
You got it?
It's
because you know Sarah, shit,
You know-
Ubuntu. Come on.
Hey! Hold
We together on this.
Hold on, baby. Hold on.
Damn it, Ubuntu.
I got it coming up. It's coming up right y'all. Okay.
Ubuntu.
It's-
Sarah,
The Ubuntu right there. Uh-huh.
pull it up.
Praise the Lord. Hold on one second.
You don't have it.
It's right here.
It is now a well-established fact that many of our diseases are psychosomatic, brought on by deep inner frustrations and conflict, of which we are often unaware. Must we now run to psychiatrists as we used to run to physicians? Or is there a way for man to free himself from his inner turmoil? You think $1 is going to free you from your inner turmoil? Do you think $1 billion is going to free you from your inner turmoil? Well, it might not, but I'm going to live good.
See?
I'm going to get King's disease.
Come on, Nas.
Somebody said, what happened to the Shrouded Lighthouse? The Shrouded Lighthouse is right here. Tyrus. We've shipped out to 12 countries, 42 states, sir.
But ain't none of them at your address. Let's make that right.
So didn't nothing happen to the Shrouded Lighthouse. The Shrouded Lighthouse is here. And we got 300 people in here right now. I'm asking all 300 of y'all, go order it right now. theshroudedlighthouse.com. Go get it right now. Please. We are all suffering from this internal turmoil. Now, please understand this about this internal turmoil. White folks suffer from internal turmoil too.
They do.
But if you have someone who refuses to acknowledge their depravity, who refuses to acknowledge their destruction that they've wrought against the world, but they're your parent, they're your societal parent, they're your societal guardians, you're being raised to act and think and believe and love and do business like them. You are the children of dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes you think you now gonna look at your brother with compassion?
And you know what? I remember a quote from someone that was on your show before. Mm-hmm. And they said very proudly and very strongly, I would rather be miserable in a mansion.
I remember that.
Than to be them happy in a shack.
I remember that.
And that's a lot of people. Nowadays, it's like, get that money. I want to be miserable about like the white woman that's drinking herself to death in the mansion. I'd rather be that. That husband that gave her all kind of STDs because she at the house and he traveling the world with exotic bitches with exotic venereal diseases. So you got tropical gonorrhea. You know, I'm sitting at home, but you in a mansion. In a mansion, bitch.
Girl, you stupid as hell.
That's crazy.
That's a good point, though. Somebody said that sound like Wednesdays. Who said that? Weekdays or yeah.
Yeah. But it's, I mean,
that's who said it. I mean,
yeah, that's who said it. But at the same time, it's like, what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Some people are have such a deficit in their soul that they can't help bring themselves up nor nobody else. And in fact, the easier thing is to bring more people down with them because all they know is down.
Mm. And if I see you moving up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta get you.
I'm gonna work against you because
Yeah.
I see you moving up.
Yeah. Mm.
This is a tough time to be in. And I often think, I just sit back and I think, and I just say to myself, like, when are we going to give it up, right? Because we got to give up one or two things. We either got to give up fighting against the system and just totally acquiesce and just integrate into it, or not even integrate, assimilate into it, or we have to really stop this lukewarm, I'm going to participate a little bit. And
Hopscotch niggas.
Yeah, hopscotch. Like, what you going to do?
But see, well, we're in America and they tell us this is the melting pot. At the same time, niggas make a gumbo and think that because the shit tastes good that it's all right. No. Ain't enough seasoning in the world to make me continue to be just at the status quo. Being extraordinary. If I'm being a nigga, let me be an extraordinary nigga.
How about that?
You know what I'm saying? If you gonna call me that, I'm gonna be the most exceptional nigga you ever seen.
How about that? Ubuntu philosophy is an Nguni Bantu term meaning humanity. It is sometimes translated as I am because we are, or humanity towards others. In Kosa, the latter term is used, but is often meant in a more philosophical sense to mean the belief in a universal bond of sharing that connects all humanity.
I am, in biblical terms, people refer to that as God. God is I am. So
Genesis chapter 3, verse 14.
You better know the word. Would you like me to read it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna find it for you. What did you say? Genesis what now, baby?
Genesis chapter 3, verse 14.
Genesis. Let me get that to my.
I think that's.
My Bible
I
app.
think that's it. It just came to my head. I could be wrong.
I'm gonna find it.
But a universal sense, I am because we are. If a team, a basketball, please understand what sports is, okay? Sports is entertainment.
Yep.
Sports is escapism. Do you know if your life is regular, just mundane, meaningless? Do you know how much meaning a team in your city winning the championship could mean to you? You become a fan, which is short for fanatic.
Yeah. Okay, that ain't it, but we gonna keep rolling, okay?
Huh?
That wasn't it, but we gonna keep rolling, okay?
What happened?
It wasn't in Genesis 14. I am that I am.
So what was it?
I don't know, child.
What was 3:14? Was it the universe, Olum?
Oh, you said 3:14. See, I'm on 14.
Oh, Lord.
My Lord, my Lord. 3 and 14.
What does it say?
That's by cattle. And the Lord God said, it's talking about the it's talking about the cattle and stuff. You can say that down.
What is the verse?
I don't know, child. Wait. What you looking for? The I am that I am?
I said Exodus 3:14.
Oh, you said Exodus. I was in Genesis. Oh my God.
Did I say Genesis or Exodus?
You said Genesis.
Did I say Genesis or Exodus, y'all? Y'all tell me. It's
people.
Exodus 3:14.
Exodus 3:14. And that's what it is. And God said unto Moses,
Yeah.
I am that I am.
Uh-huh.
And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you.
There you go. It's Exodus 3:14. There we go. And following the concept of Ubuntu. See, and the reason why this is such a big thing to me is because Doc Rivers used it to win a championship.
He sure did.
Escapism, entertainment, it's not real. A championship is real for the players who work to earn it. But it's entertainment for those who observe.
Rudy Tom Donovan said what? Never doubt
Underestimate
the heart of a champion. Rudy Tom Donovan, Houston Rockets.
First off, I'm sick of you in this Houston trivia. This is like Houston Jeopardy.
I know it all, my love.
Krishnamurti says again. This is gonna hurt people. You must understand the whole of life, not just one little part of it. This is why you must read. This is why you must look at the sky. This is why you must sing and dance and write poems and suffer and understand. For all of that is life. I don't think we understand that we were brought into this world to understand the truth of who we really are. And then share that with others. Ubuntu, I am, because we are. Zo can't have books or success in books without his people. Right? The people who support what he does. Nobody can. Watch this. How the fuck can a celebrity have an attitude toward his fans?
They do all the time.
And they do. When I look at the genius of, say, Prince, right? Oftentimes, an artist gets so caught up in their talent, right, that it's real interesting, you know. They act like they can just be any kind of way because they're talented.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cussing people out, cussing people out, going off on people, talking crazy to people because they're talented.
Yeah.
In relationships, attractive people do that.
All the time.
It's a sense of entitlement because I'm attractive. Or wealthy people do that. A sense of entitlement because I got money. So that means I can marginalize and denigrate and make small people who don't have what I have, right?
But see, my cousin, she appeared like she got money. She ain't got shit, and she be treating people shitty. That's all. Like you have the fakers that are just as rude.
And what I'm saying is, suffering doesn't know social status.
Oh no.
Suffering doesn't respect social status. You could be rich, poor, it doesn't matter. Suffering visits everyone. So suffering is universal, just like Ubuntu. This is how we relate to one another. This is how relationship becomes a mirror. This is how I can say, I see where you're coming from because I see where you are because I've been there. Mm-hmm. And that's where empathy is born. Mm-hmm. I empathize with you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to roll with you. I'm going to have your back. But oftentimes, people have turned the voices of wisdom, the voices of spirituality, the voices of metaphysics, they've turned that into an escape too. Because they'd rather hear the gem than actually mine for the gem.
Oh, absolutely.
See, you have to mine internally, but you'd rather tune in and hear a gem and then parrot a gem, but not mine the gem.
But I'd rather go out to eat than to cook at home. That involves work.
I'm done.
And suffering is extremely disrespectful because suffering ain't gonna knock at your door. It's just gonna break in the window. It don't give a damn. It break in the mansions and it breaks in the huts. It don't care. And the hut ain't even got no lock to it. It's still gonna break in the door.
Krishnamurti has a question for you. I wonder, what have you learned from suffering? Have you learned anything at all? What has suffering taught you? So, as you say, it hasn't taught you wisdom. On the contrary, it has made you more cunning, more insensitive. Does sorrow teach one anything at all except the obvious self-protective reactions? Suffering makes you cunning. Suffering makes you a user. Suffering makes you a mercenary. Because you've been taught to run away from it, not to embrace it.
Suffering to give you a loaded ass gun to go and blow the fucking brains out of anybody else that try to make you suffer again. That's what suffering do. Suffer, get your army up.
Somebody said, I'm going to pass on all that suffering. In the Shrouded Lighthouse, I mentioned a whole section on Buddha when he talked about the purpose of suffering. It can be overcome. It should be overcome. But it can't be overcome running to that which feels good. Theo Washington.
Hey, Theo Washington.
How can men say don't be emotional and all you want to do is what feels good to you?
Exactly.
Because what feels good to you is an emotional thing.
And this is a FYI, anger is an emotion. I don't think a lot of guys don't understand that being angry is an emotion. It's a very intense one as well.
Right. Suffering is a key ingredient to growth.
Absolutely.
But only if you embrace it. If you're always running from it, if you're always blaming somebody for it, you don't see the message in it.
But my cup for suffering has been overflowed. I don't want no more of that. I want another option. I don't want the vegan. That's very vegan. I want some meat. I don't want that.
There is the personal sorrow and the sorrow of the world. There is the sorrow of ignorance and the sorrow of time. This ignorance is the lack of knowing oneself. And the sorrow of time is the deception that time can cure, heal, and change you. Most people are caught in that deception and either worship sorrow or explain it away. But in either case, it continues. And one never asks oneself if it can come to an end. Yes, sorrow can come to an end. In Buddhism, I speak of it all the time. The word for suffering is dukkha. It means dissatisfaction. It means frustration. It means sorrow. It means disappointment. But in the Shrouded Lighthouse, we talked about the opposite of dukkha. Sukha. It means good space. Most people don't know how to make room for space for themselves, a good space within themselves. Most people don't know how to do that.
Because they full of themselves.
No, they're full of escapism.
Okay.
Back to my initial point. Truth, if it's the truth, doesn't need a representative, doesn't need a PR person, doesn't need a spokesman. If it's the truth, it don't matter who it's coming from.
Yeah. Truth is in all caps all the time.
You're an escape artist if you're choosing to listen to your preferred voice.
Some people prefer to be Houdini.
Come on. I'd rather hear the same truth from this person.
But why is it?
Because I don't like that person.
But why do we see truth in a person? What is so special about that person? Why won't we ever find out what makes them such a wise person and pattern ourselves after the things in which made them wise versus what they say?
Because most people don't understand what the truth actually is. Most people are fucking blind. They think articulation is truth. If somebody is extremely articulate and charismatic, don't put charisma and articulation together.
Oh, cult leader. That's a cult. Yeah.
So that manifests as truth. Why? Because I lack charisma. Why? Because I lack the ability to articulate eloquently. Why? Because I think eloquent articulation is either white or a preacher or a politician.
Yeah.
But of the system, right? You don't want to embrace your sorrow because somebody told you your sorrow is a bad thing. But it's not. Your sorrow can be fuel. Your sorrow can be the palette you use to paint a new reality.
Like James Earl Jones, one of the greatest orators of our time, he was an extreme stutterer when he was a kid. If he would have let that people think that that's just what you're going to be, he never would have pushed himself to overcome what he did.
Look at that.
And everybody wants to sound like him, yet don't know the story behind the way in which he sounds the way he sounds today.
Sorrow born out of a lack of self.
Come on.
Self-pity. Krishnamurti was not playing. Self-pity is one of the elements of sorrow. Another element is being attached to someone and encouraging or fostering his attachment to you.
Come on.
Sorrow is not only there when attachment fails you, but its seed is in the very beginning of that attachment. In all this, the trouble is the utter lack of knowing oneself. Knowing oneself is the end of sorrow. We are afraid to know ourselves because we have divided ourselves into the good and the bad, the evil and the noble, the pure and the impure. The good is always judging the bad, and these fragments are at war with each other. This war itself is sorrow. To end sorrow is to see the fact and not invent its opposite. Can you see the fact of yourself as you really are and leave out the justification? And leave out, well, the reason I'm like this is because.
Is because.
So I'm going to say it again. You pick and choose. Well, this person is a little bit better than that person, even though they're saying the same truth.
Yeah.
I just don't like it coming from him. That's a lack of knowledge of self. And hearing the word is not the same as living the word.
Come on.
Being the word. Somebody said, you don't write 4 books that are peer reviewed. Who wrote the foreword to the Shrouded Lighthouse? Who wrote the foreword to the Shrouded Lighthouse? Alan Berger, PhD, licensed clinical psychologist, renowned psychotherapist, and author of several books, Love Secrets, Revealed, author of The Recovery Mainstay, 12 Steps that, or 12 Stupid Things That Mess Up Recovery, and 12 Smart Things to Do When Booze and Drugs Are Gone. That's who wrote my foreword. Who wrote the back cover? Mayumi McKinley, LCSW, licensed mental health therapist. These are the people who are reading my work and saying, no, this is different. This ain't just a dude who went on YouTube or went on Google and Googled some information. This is a body of work that has been in the making for many, many years, based off of the suffering that I endured as a child and grew up trying to reconcile it through conflict, through various types of relationships. See, do the work. The work is the discovery of the true you without judgment, without condemnation. You want to heal the community. I say, go get your money. Yes, go get your bread. Live the kind of life you want to live, right? Great. Do that. But then do something that positively affects everybody that comes into your sphere. Or otherwise, why are you alive?
Well, you got a lot of people, instead, like Linus carried his blanket, they carry their bitches. They carry all this other bitch assness along with them. They refuse to let go of. And it's smelly, it's stinky, it got flies on it, shit on it, everything like that. But you still carrying that stank ass blanket and the bitches and everything with you all the time. You gotta let it go. They don't want to. A lot of people don't want to read nothing that's gonna free them. They rather read and not read, but intake things that cause them to be even more bound. They bound and walking around, baby.
I love it. Bound and walking around. To end sorrow is to see the fact and not invent its opposite. For the opposites always contain each other. Relationship as a mirror.
Amen.
Walking in this corridor of opposites is sorrow. This fragmentation of life into the high and the low, the noble and the ignoble, God and the devil breeds conflict and pain. Red and blue. Whether it's a red or blue state or a red or blue gang.
You make green though.
Where is Ubuntu? Where is Ubuntu? I am because you are. When there is sorrow, there is no love. Love and sorrow cannot live together. Do you bring it? Right? Listen to this. Do you bring it if you love, or does he? In other words, do you bring love if they bring love? Is bringing love contingent upon them bringing it to you first?
I know love was a potluck.
Look at...
Like,
relationship as a potluck.
It's a potluck. Come on now.
Keep going. What are you bringing?
But I don't eat at everybody's house. A lot of people nasty. You know what I'm saying? And that's what love and sorrow can't live together, because sorrow is messy. It says that nasty ass roommate don't take baths 4 days because they want to keep the stuff on them. Love is very freeing. It allows you to let go, to move on, so you can be filled with more love.
Ooh, listen, if another is attached to you, with or without encouragement, and you turn away from him and he suffers, is it you or he that has brought the suffering?
You know you're going to blame it on them. Come on now.
Again, the attachment. This is why Buddha said attachment, right, is the source of all suffering. You are attached. This is going to hurt.
Oh, Lord.
You are attached to the provisions that white supremacy has provided for you through this society. You are attached to their dream.
Yeah.
And you dream and aspire to live where they live, drive what they drive, dress in their name brand clothing. You put down your people and their products because you believe somehow that it is inferior as they believe that you are inferior to them. Your people's products are inferior because it's not popular. It's not known. Do you see?
Well, it's more bland. Ain't enough ingredient. Ain't no seasoning on it or nothing like that.
How anything black people do is bland.
No, I'm saying white culture and stuff is bland.
No.
But a lot of people think you got to take away the seasoning in order to get more flavor, baby, and it don't happen like that.
Now watch what happens. Just like that famous art designer, the fashion designer who just died. Virgil, everybody's pouring out for this incredibly talented soul.
After you talk about him on Dream Champ.
But peep what happens. He's validated because of his associations. Louis Vuitton. What white folk do is they know we're the standard, but you're the talent. We'll bring you in. Before he died, he designed a truck for Mercedes Maybach because he's the talent. How come your talent, brothers and sisters, doesn't supersede their brands?
Because we gonna put Louis Vuittons on your feet so you can dance for us, nigga.
But do you see?
Yeah.
Yo, man, what is this? Thank you, brother. Thank you. For everybody that's hitting the super chat, I appreciate it. This channel needs it.
Yep.
You know, it's been real low for months, but I appreciate the twos and fews that you guys throw my way. I urge everybody, can we get, it's 300 people in here. Can I get 300 copies moved right now? I'm asking that everybody purchase this book right now. Please go to theshroudedlighthouse.com because I believe our community is in spiritual peril. When you make suffering normal, when you make suffering and lack and disrespect and dishonor and lack of integrity, when you make that normal, acceptable, right? Somebody said they shadow banning you big time. So I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But when you make mediocrity normal, when you make the weakness in your character normal, right? How can you then expect to expand? Krishnamurti said right here, in order to put out the fire of suffering in your soul, you must first come to the knowledge of oneself. How do you come to the knowledge of yourself? First, you look at where you came from and who raised you. Then you release them of their responsibility because they did what they could do. They did what they knew best to do in most cases. Or in some cases, they purposely did wrong by you. Oh, well. you have no control over how they raised you. So you release them. You go on a journey. You start to think differently.
Yeah.
Now, if you a brother like me who wasn't raised with his father, you have to find examples that supplement the example you didn't have. Oftentimes, we do that in relationships.
Absolutely.
I was talking to a sister the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, and she was talking about how much she hated her father. I said, actually, you love him deeply. Because she then goes on to say, I'm like him. And then I treat people in relationships the way he treated people in relationships. I said, do you see the mirror of relationship between you and your father? Do you see? Knowledge of self. You got to go back to him. You got to unwrap the riddle of him.
Yep.
Because she was even saying, I will go into the relationship with a silent expectation that the man is the supplement for what my dad didn't give. And that creates conflict. You see?
Yeah.
But then there are also positive supplements. If your daddy isn't there, you can go to an uncle that's solid. You can go to a brother, big brother that's solid. You can go to a granddaddy that's solid. If you have these things, right? Or you can seek out people who have healthy relationships and study. Observe without judgment. What makes their relationship healthy? Go ahead, Sarah.
At the same time, it's for me, like, I grew up without my dad, but I would seek out those people. At the same time, I automatically assumed they would abandon me like he did. So it's a two-edged sword, because it's like,
that
I
ain't a
want to get
two-edged
closer,
sword.
but I mean,
That's
really?
that's the mirror of relationship.
Okay.
You are defining it very clearly. That's
like,
the mirror of relationship. You expect it because it happened to you from the most significant man in your life, which is your father. If he gonna abandon me, what are the chances of a dude that ain't even related to me abandoning me?
Absolute chances are he gonna do some fuck shit too. Yeah, so it's like people, men.
Who is this? Q? Wait, let me say, cue it up. Thank you, man. He said he's a listener since 2014.
Yeah.
We attach ourselves and buy what we think is dominant. Meanwhile, the true dominant culture is not supported on a ground level. It's true. Varanus videos.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people understand that in society, black people, if you are living up to your potential, you are aggressive, you're overwhelming. If you are mediocre, you're acceptable.
Oh, no question.
Because we want you to be subpar. So subpar, and you're thinking that you're actually winning, and actually, if they accept you, you're losing big time.
It's true. Krishnamurti, as we have said, it is only when knowing oneself completely that sorrow ends. Do you know yourself at a glance, or hope to offer, or hope to after a long analysis? Thorough analysis, or through analysis, you cannot know yourself. You can only know yourself without accumulation in relationship from moment to moment. What he is saying is, you can't analyze everything just based on what you've been through. Because what's going to happen is the accumulation of all of these experiences, and you got the inner judge through analysis. That inner judge, the adult judge, the parental judge, the adult judge, and the child, the inner child. They're going to be judging the accumulation of experiences that you have been through. What he's saying is, can you do that through this long analysis? He's saying you cannot. He's saying you're going to have to be able to look at yourself without judges. The parental judge, the adult judge, and the inner child. You're going to have to look at what you've been through without judgment, without condemnation, without the filter, as he would say, the filter of the past. That's why he said, You can only know yourself without accumulation, without the whole, they say we bring bags into the relationship, without the whole baggage department, leave that at the door. Yeah. But how do you leave it at the door? You first have to acknowledge that it's there.
First of all, why are you packing to go to another relationship?
Right? He says, this means that one must be aware without any choice of what is actually taking place. It means to see oneself as one is, without the opposite, without the ideal, without the knowledge of what one has been or what has been. If you look at yourself with the eyes of resentment or rancor, then what you see is colored by the past. The shedding of the past all the time, when you see yourself, is freedom from the past. In other words, see yourself as you are, without the judgment. See, you looking like it's hard to do.
Well, see, the thing is that I believe the Bible says, the blessing of the Lord make you rich and added no sorrow. I don't believe that sorrow doesn't come to your life. It's just the way in which you look at what one may consider sorrow. You look at it differently. So therefore, the blessing that you have is that you have the opportunity to get to know yourself, so that you can look at life and its experiences differently. That will allow you to go through life knowing that these are experiences. My experience with you ends my chapter with you. So therefore, when I move on, I'm gaining a whole different experience with this other person. You're not the old person. You're a brand new person. So therefore, I'm gaining a whole new experience with you. So it's like I'm not bringing baggage from the past. I'm actually opening myself up to a whole nother experience. And the thing is, the less baggage you bring to that situation will allow you to enjoy and be more involved in that situation, because I'm light.
But that's what, I'm going to go back and say it again. How do you look at yourself and everything you've been through without that inner judge telling you that you're not good enough?
Because just how when Judge Judy come on, she doing too much, I turn the channel. You know, so I switch it to something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sometimes you can have programs on mute. I still can understand what they're saying because I read lips. Oops. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you can have those things in your mind muted. At the same time, it's still playing. So therefore, I'm still paying attention to what it is. You have to shut it completely off.
But, okay, let's say it another way. How do you demand the highest of yourself when you're in a relationship with someone else?
How can I demand the highest of myself?
Yes.
Being more in demand of myself than the other person.
Say more. Let me hear.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm more in demand, therefore, if I'm putting myself more than this person in my life, knowing that they're a welcome addition to my life, at the same time they are not my life.
No. This is what it is. You go into the relationship saying, or this should be the ultimate purpose for being in there. I'm going in here to discover a new aspect of me. Whatever this person shows me about me, whatever aspect of me rises to the surface that I had yet to be introduced to, that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
And oftentimes people will say, well, that's selfish. You're here for you. What about me? No, ma'am. You're here for you too, or you're here for the wrong reason.
It's a lot of wrong reason.
Now, listen what I mean now.
Okay.
Most people say, I'm here to get what I can. No. I'm here to cultivate an understanding of me.
Okay.
On a spiritual level, I'm here to cultivate a deeper understanding of who I am. According to Krishnamurti, the more you know about self, the less the amount of suffering you will begin to experience. This is why you see me talk about this in The Shrouded Lighthouse, the relationship dismount, the holographic relationship, when I say it's claim over blame. You frustrated and disappointed with the type of relationship you got because you thought an external, an external expectation would quiet an internal desire for knowing.
Yeah.
See, oftentimes you got to get, Mo D told me this. Sometimes God gives you what you think you want, so you'll understand that it ain't really that valuable.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to get it in order to go, this ain't even all that.
Yeah, that's like a cabbage.
You see, so we've put so much emphasis on external desires and accumulating them or acquiring them, so because we think that's going to bring some kind of peace to our soul. But listen, the little baby just came out and said, I can't even enjoy my success. See, sometimes, and he probably came from poverty. I don't know if he did or not, but he probably came from poverty, right? And now he's this big international star, right? And he's going through all type of hell, and he got all the money in the world. He got bread. Yeah. Sometimes God give you what you want, so you can recognize that you didn't even dream high enough.
That part.
You didn't even aspire high enough. You walk into that relationship and you aspire to be the highest you can be, the best you can be. And sometimes that's hard because there's parts of yourself that are mediocre. There's parts of yourself that are low consciousness. There's parts of yourself that are disrespectful to yourself. There's parts of yourself that don't like yourself. So again, you go into the relationship saying, I have to be the best. As Krishnamurti said right here, as long as you never demand the highest of yourself, that is the essence of mediocrity. I don't know if y'all listening. Is anybody listening to what I'm saying? Does this resonate on any level? Because again, like I said, no disrespect to anybody else out there doing it. I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time. No disrespect to anybody else out there who's doing it. I've been doing this a long time. And I'm going to tell you, man, the struggle with self. I can see an actor. I can see a performer. Because I've been an actor and a performer. I know what it takes. It's a gang of method actors in relationships.
Oh, God, yeah.
Motherfuckers crying on cue.
Come on, cry on cue.
Motherfuckers giving gifts on cue.
Come on.
Motherfuckers taking people to dinner on cue.
On cue.
Movies on cue. It's all a performance. And the moment you get real with self, the moment you get comfortable with self, and I mean accepting every every dark aspect of self, that's when you're going to start to manifest truthful beings. Beings who don't need introduction. The liar needs to be introduced. The liar needs to be brought on stage with the fanfare, the performance.
It's easier to get an Academy Award than a Nobel Peace Prize, honey.
Ooh. Oh, God. It is very difficult.
These Hallmark Channel niggas.
To be like the other guy, to be ordinary. Mediocrity takes a great deal of energy. It's a performance. Yeah. But to be ourselves is very easy. You don't have to do a thing, Krishnamurti. Oh, my God.
Probably want to be Terrence Howard with the light-skinned nigga playing the guitar in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Playing the guitar, man.
Somebody said acting versus being. Mm-hmm. You hear me saying this all the time. We are not human doings. We are human beings. Mm-hmm. But because so many of us are frustrated and small on the inside, what we do takes precedent over who we are, over what we are.
Well, A come before B. That's so sad. Mm-hmm. But most people would rather learn a script than learn themselves.
Come on. I'm with you. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all I got. I'm just saying. Oh, look.
She said, that's all I got.
That's me right now. I know.
Y'all motherfuckers stupid. But that's what the relationship dismount is all about.
Come on.
I said, what is your routine? Your routine is your script.
Come on, Simone.
And if you was raised in a house that had a dysfunctional dismount, that's built into your script that you carry into adult relationships. I know!
Oh, balance beam niggas.
Oh, monkey bars.
Oh, vault niggas.
Oh, vault. So, my brother, my friend, lost his mama, man. In the most tragic and disrespectful of ways. Yeah. Because something is wrong with us. Something is wrong with us. We don't value us. We are not Ubuntu, humanity. I am human because you're human. I am humanity because you're humanity. We have lost a sense of humanity, and we spend most of our time seeking to be entertained with jewels that we refuse to mine ourselves. Your spirit, your dark shadow self, is a mine of knowledge of self jewels. You'd rather hear it than dig it out for yourself.
They'd be too lazy to buy for apples.
You'd rather hear it and parrot it. Let me say what he said, because that's deep.
Come on now.
And then, fuck him. I don't like that light-skinned nigga anyway.
Be like, I don't know who said it, but... And then start quoting.
I'm going to go listen to somebody else say it who say it a little better than him. Or say it just like him, but I just don't like him, so... Do you see the poison in the community?
Yeah. Instead of looking in the mirror, be practicing in the mirror of what another nigga said.
Do you... Come on. You think a motherfucker rolled out of the bed one day? Listen. This what's this? 2019? 2021? And then the relationship dismount is 2015, and then the rebirth of seeds is 2005. You don't roll out of a bed. One book between the relationship, the rebirth of seeds and the relationship dismount was 10 years.
Ooh.
You don't roll out of a bed and write a book. Do you understand? You don't roll out of a bed and write a book. A good one, a good 2, a good 3, a good 4 books. 4 books and they all good. You don't roll out of a bed and do that. You don't watch a video on YouTube and do that. Produced, manufactured, and shipped and everything. Written, produced, and everything. And put out by yourself. You okay. You just roll out of bed and that's what happened. Okay. I come from a generation where when a motherfucker write a book, it is a monumental, achievement because people understand the difficulty in writing a damn book. And it is hard.
Shit, Cat in the Hat was a struggle.
Because that shit had to rhyme all the way through.
Yeah, all the way through, nigga. You know how hard that was?
And when you're looking at this body of work, you're looking at Zoe's self-inquiry. You're looking at my inquiry into me and saying, I can use this as a tool to inspire other people to go on their journey. So again, as a community, this is why Zoe has invested so much time, energy, effort into writing books. Because I said, man, knowledge is key. And the knowledge of self is key. And we have to heal our community from the inside out. From within each individual who lives in each home, who lives in each community, we have to heal so we can stop the fuck shit tragedies that we've been programmed by society at large to inflict upon each other. We gotta change it, man. We gotta change it. Something's got to change. Right? You may not like me, but read my book first and see if I'm on some dumb shit. See if you don't find something in it that inspires and enlightens you to be better. And if I can do that, then how much of a fuck nigga am I?
Yeah. The doors of the church are open. Would there be one?
I came with Sarah. Ubuntu. I am because you are. We are humanity. If you can win a fucking fake ass championship, and I'm not, no disrespect to the Boston Celtics, you guys that was a monster team that year. You motherfuckers worked y'all ass off.
Oh, with Kevin Garnett?
And Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, Rondo, y'all won that shit. You know, that's your job. That's your work. I'm not here to undermine it or put it down, but it's a championship in entertainment. It's an entertainment championship because sports is entertainment, and sports and entertainment are designed for escapism. Can you imagine waking up every day in America without sports?
Oh, yeah, it'd be very mundane.
The reality of your mundanity, your mediocrity would be overwhelming. Motherfucker, half the population would commit suicide.
It's called a pastime.
It's a pastime. Thank you. So I'm not trying to say that those brothers didn't do great work winning that championship, but that is a universal spiritual principle, Ubuntu. And you can apply it to a championship run, but not to black unity. And it came out of South Africa. We about to wrap this shit up, man. It takes a lot of energy to do these shows, right? Because the message doesn't really change, right? It don't really change. I'll speak on a topic. We talked about suffering and anxiety. Let me just give you this, all right? Clinicians will tell you with regards to anxiety, self-care, right? They'll say it's important to practice self-care, right? Self-care tells me something very, very clear here. You are the answer. That's no different than Krishnamurti saying the acquisition of knowledge of self reduces suffering. So self-care, they'll say, well, no, self-care is about meditation. That's mindfulness. Being aware. But do you know your awareness expands when you reduce your judgment? Your judgment keeps your awareness small. Your criticism, your condemnation, your rancor, as Krishnamurti used the term, this is what keeps your perspective small. So meditation opens that up. Many different types of meditation. There's a meditation where, you focus, but you're not forcing the brain to focus. Krishnamurti would always say, don't force the mind. Let it go where it wants to go. Then there are different types of meditation where you light the flame, right? And in Hinduism, they have the term japam, which is similar to Islam, which is dhikr. The Muslim has the prayer beads, the dhikr beads. Dhikr means remember.
Remember bead.
The root of dhikr is zakar. Dhikr, remember. Remember. So you remember the 99 plus 1 names of Allah. Hinduism is japam, where you're reciting over and over again a mantra. Maybe it's Om, right? But you do that to quiet the mind over and over and over again. Om, you're doing that to quiet the mind. Or in Islam, it would be the dhikr bead. You're rocking back and forth and you're saying the 99 plus 1 names of Allah, right? That's what that's for, to quiet the mind, right? Where the mind is quiet, that's where consciousness rises. It expands. Some people say self-care is take a bath. Well,
you need to just take a bath. That's regular care.
That's regular care, right?
Regular.
Some other people say get creative, right? Engage your creative side, whether it be musically, whether it be drawing, art, something to have your mind focus in a different way. Of course, the artistic side of your brain is the right side of the brain, the imaginative side. Some people say to deal with anxiety, get moving, exercise, taking a walk, getting active, right? And then I add, from my perspective, be okay with right now, regardless of how difficult it is.
Content.
Be okay with right now. Right now, this is what it is. Without judgment, this is where I'm at. Because all this fucking busyness, doing as opposed to being, leads to more suffering. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show.
Yeah.
We got 2 orders. I asked for 300. We had 1,000 people on Monday. I asked for 1,000 book orders. I got 2.
Okay.
So from today, there's 4 book orders. Come on, y'all. We only got 1,000 of these left. Just buy them all. Everybody should buy them all. Please buy them all. Go to my website right now, theshroudedlighthouse.com. Order your copy of The Shrouded Lighthouse. Please support, support, support. Also, don't forget to go to I am ZoWilliams.com and order the holographic relationship, my website, right? And then, of course, the relationship Dismount is on Amazon.com in 3 different formats: Audible, Kindle, as well as paperback. Support, 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 support. Please support, 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 support. Support all of the businesses I put in front of you. Total Package Energy, ZMoss, X-Wolf, HuriKane Report. Of course, the brothers' business, JHMCI, John Haley's Medical Coding Institute instructors. John Haley, these are the instructors, John Haley and Yafith Campbell. JHMCI.com. Their contact number is 916-524-4380. But I need everybody to get these books so I can ship them out. Somebody says, Zo, your relationship dismount book opened my mind a lot. Read it hella times. I ended up reading a lot more books. Appreciate you opening my mind, but I hate that you birth what?
Oh, that's, that's.
Oh, come
that's,
on.
That's,
oh, yeah. I ain't on none of that, man. I ain't on none of that. I ain't on none of that. I ain't on none of that. Like I said, if you already got the book, buy another one. Put it in somebody's stocking who needs it. I know y'all out there.
An old stocking.
No, because I know they Christmas shopping. I know they feeding the beast. They Christmas shopping for sure. I know it. So if you're going to do it responsibly. Seed some black-owned businesses, right? Support some black-owned businesses. If you're going to Christmas shop, shop with black-owned businesses, all right? Anyway, today's Zolo Mansions was brought to you by Sarah's Word of the Day. Sarah, what's your word of the day?
What's my word of the day? Oh, what is my word of the day?
Caught you slipping.
Oh my God. Word of the day is Bizo.
Oh, that's another thing. Come on, y'all. Show y'all love for Sarah. It's 200 people in here right now. If everybody sent Sarah $1, she'd have $200. Can y'all do that for her?
I would really like that. I could totally use that.
Can y'all do that for Sarah?
Gas is $8,000 a gallon.
Jesus Christ. Did you see that? Downtown Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm. The $5?
No, I think it was 605.
Oh, well, yeah.
Downtown Los Angeles, right next to the Staples Center or crypto.com, whatever that is. Mm-hmm. So can everybody in here, it's 200 folk. Everybody send Sarah $1. $, Sundays with Sarah. Support, 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 support. Of course, we've been broadcasting live from OneStream.tv. Mm-hmm. This was a very powerful show, man. I appreciate you guys for just coming in here and listening to me rap to you. Like I said, man, I was trying to wrap it all together, man. That shit, man, that happened to the brother and Alex, man, that was happened to his mother, man, 81 years old, beautiful soul, did a lot for the community. You just hate for somebody's parent to go out like that. Yeah. After they've lived, a pretty good life, man. It's just hard, man. My mother died in 2009. It's just hard to see somebody go out like that, man. That woman deserved to live to 90 and die at home in her bed, going to sleep. We got to do something different about what we're producing in our community. We got to do something different about the product that's coming out of our community. The product got to be different, right? The product got to be different. But the product can't be different if we on some petty, mundane, mediocre fuck shit with each other. That's all got to end at some point. Mm-hmm. All right, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. This has been Zolo Mansions. Rest in peace, Jackie Avant. Peace to the family, the Avant family. Peace to Alex and Nicole and Clarence. Just peace, man. Peace to your family's heart, man. I wouldn't wish this on a dog. So, thank you.